Hi, I'm with cherrydavis.org. How are y'all doing?
Great.
We're doing okay. How are you?
I'm okay. This will probably be a quick interview before my children burst in. So,
That's okay. That's all right.
We understand.
Absolutely.
okay, so getting straight to A Deadly Legend. You were both producers on the film, and Eric, you wrote it, right?
Yes. Yes, did. Absolutely. Yes.
That's awesome.
So if you like it, I will freely admit that I wrote it. So.
I did enjoy it. I enjoyed it. There was a lot of kind of like mysticisms that you used throughout the film. What inspired the type of magics that you use?
Oh, I tell you what, when we were writing, in the town of Wurtsboro itself is a place called the Crystal Shop. And that is in the movie. It was a huge inspiration. We didn't have to do really a thing to set up that scene in the Crystal Shop. Mm-hmm. And the between that and the history of the Catskills where we are, just to let you know that there's only a few places on Earth where bluestone is available. Bluestone is what Stonehenge was actually made of. And so bluestone is available in the Catskills. So, you know, all those pieces came together. We really did want to make a supernatural thriller, and it was just very, very easy to pull together those pieces that are a natural part of this area.
And I'd like to quickly add to the crystal piece of the storyline. We really wanted to highlight, you know, based upon our own interests and experiences, you know, the inner strength and power that people hold, and how crystals can help amplify that. Mm-hmm. And help you connect to a more spiritual realm and provide protection. Yeah. And we think there's an audience for that also. So we wove that into the storyline.
Definitely. I think there's a huge audience for that, especially now.
Mm-hmm.
So looking into your background, is that where you filmed?
Yes, exactly. Welcome to the Lodge.
Welcome.
Welcome to the life of an independent filmmaker. So yes, the Lodge is actually where we live. And you know, when you're an independent filmmaker, you have to be rather resourceful.
Yeah.
So we did that. Yes, and and believe it or not, but the Stonehenge is at a local quarry. So
yeah.
Wow. It's a very beautiful house.
Thank you. Very much.
It was a little challenging. We were staying here. We had probably 8 people staying here from the crew, and we filmed here. Oh. And there were days where
we had close to 100 people going through the house.
Yeah, there were days for me as just producer and then the lead in the film that it could be daunting because I really needed my space. And that wasn't a reality, and everything had been packed and everything, you know, for staging. So
yeah. Overall, everybody was great though.
Yeah.
Cast, crew, they were all terrific.
We loved our team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So growing up or even now, have you all experienced any paranormal phenomena in real life?
Oh, gee whiz. I'm handing this one over to Kristen.
Definitely me. I actually, my childhood home is built on a legit Indian burial ground in Massachusetts along the Connecticut River. And I've had several experiences. And so I think when Eric was writing the script, and I'm more into the New Age realm too, when Eric was writing the script, he would bounce some of the concepts off of me. Mm-hmm. And so yes is the answer. Many.
Yeah. And for me, you know, my first wife died tragically, but I still feel her spirit, and she does visit, and she has helped us in the past by, you know, so I won't go into the actual, she loves Kristen, by the way. but I won't go into, you know, all the episodes that we have, but I am absolutely convinced of the afterlife.
We're believers.
Believers.
That's cool. There was a scene you had with a Ouija board. Have y'all ever used a Ouija board?
Well, so yeah.
No, not in a million years would I use a Ouija board. I know what that opens up. Yeah. And my father is very well schooled in these different areas, and I was always warned against that. That was something Eric really wanted to work into the script, but personally, that's not something that I have ever dabbled in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I always grew up knowing not to mess with Ouija boards.
I'd like to hear your story sometime.
Oh man,
I wish we had more time.
I have a lot.
What is your? Could you tell us your story?
Let's see one of them.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
No, it's fine. Okay, well, so I grew up with my great grandmother, and she was born in 1929, so she's seen a lot.
Oh wow.
And she always kind of taught me about the paranormal. And one night when I was a kid, I was sleeping in my bed and I was drifting off, and something sat down on the bed because my bed was very creaky, and it sat down and there was an indent.
Oh my goodness, no kidding.
Yeah.
And then one time during the fall, someone was following behind me, and I could hear the crunch of the leaves.
Oh, wow. And there was nobody there?
Nobody.
Oh, my God. Well, welcome to the supernatural.
I think Eric did a nice job of replacing the Ouija board with the mirror.
Yes.
And I really liked how he created that concept of, you know, you can look into the mirror and see, it will help you see into the psychic world. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a nice replacement for the Ouija board.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, I'll tell you what, it was fun to write. It took almost a year to finish the script. So it took longer to finish the script than to actually shoot the movie. But we were happy with it. We really wanted a supernatural thriller. We didn't want just a regular, you know, Texas Chainsaw Massacre type of movie. And I know there's lots of folks that love that. We really wanted to rely on strong plot line and strong character development, and really create an action and suspense and a storyline that made you think, and even keep people guessing at the very end. Just when you have it all figured out, you know, we wanted to throw a wrench in it. So, and that's really what we think we accomplished.
Yeah, definitely. Without getting too spoilery, the ending, I was left like, what? What is happening? It made me question everything. But I love films like that really make you think.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, just to let you know that all questions will be answered in A Deadly Legend too. So.
Oh, okay. So there is a sequel.
Please, yes, yep.
We hope.
So speaking of writing, one of your characters, Wanda, played by Lori Petty, she was a very interesting character. What was the inspiration?
Oh, gee whiz. I mean, you know, we needed, we really wanted some salt of the earth people in the plot of this film, you know, and so, you know, Mike and Wanda just really kind of represent the, you know, the maybe an amplification of, but, you know, of you know, the folks, the salt of the earth type of folks, you know, and, you know, we needed that kind of personality, that kind of campiness to really relieve some of the suspension tension that came throughout the movie. And she came in at perfect times, and she is awesome to work with, by the way.
Yeah. She
really just lent such a great characterization to Wanda, way beyond what was on the written page. I just loved working with her. Just awesome. She's just awesome.
Yeah, she looked like she enjoyed herself during filming.
She did. She did. We have a couple outtakes too. Maybe someday we'll publish them. But but
We had fun.
she had fun. We actually all had fun. You know, it was one of those movies where nothing really bad happened on the set. We never really had bad accidents. We finished on time. You know, it was a lot of hard work, but we had a really great kind of family environment amongst cast and crew.
Yeah, it was very rare in that sense.
How long did it take you to shoot?
It took, well, the principal photography took 25 days.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, everyone was prepared. The great part about it was everyone was prepared. The weather sometimes railed against us a little bit. It's somewhat unpredictable up here in upstate New York. You know, when you expect it to rain, all of a sudden it's blazingly sunny. When you expect it to be sunny, it rains. So I think, got through it.
How many scenes in 25 days?
About 50 scenes in 25 days.
Yeah. We had to have a really tight, cohesive team, and we had to work smart and efficiently in order to meet those deadlines.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What was some of your favorite scenes to shoot?
Oh, gee whiz. You know, you start.
So I assume you've seen the film, but the raft scene definitely was a challenging scene, and it was fun all at the same time. Normally with a scene like that, you'd go into a pool or do green screen or even a combination, but we shot that in a real lake on a real raft in like 95-degree weather. And you know, it's not like you're just doing a couple of takes. It took all day because they're doing different angles. And then we were surrounded by a team of divers and lifeguards and safety coordinators, and like everything that you're seeing in that scene is real. Like, we're not conjuring that in any way. So, you know, throwing myself on that raft and crawling and all of that was, you know, fun and challenging all at the same time. And it ended up coming out really great.
Yeah. That was the toughest day of shooting by far. You know, obviously my favorite scenes were with Lori. But you know, I think my truly favorite scene is the last scene, which, you know, again, the spoilers, but you know, Mike is there, and we have, you know, the surprise visitors, you know, and I thought that went really well. Everybody loved playing inmates in an insane asylum. We had, you know, we had cast, we had extras, and we even had put some of our crew members in there, and everybody got a kick out of it.
Did you use a lot of local actors for background scenes there, or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all local actors. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, all from the Hudson Valley, Catskill area.
Yep.
Yeah. They were great folks.
So getting into a little bit of spoilery waters,
Sure.
Kristen, so as a mother myself, I would do anything for my kids, but do you think your character made a selfish decision in making a deal with the dark side?
You know, I think when she made that decision, she didn't think it was selfish. But as things unfold, things start sinking in for Joan, and she realizes she did not make a smart decision.
Yeah, and that internal conflict was real, and it really is supposed to be an allegory for real life. You know, and all the various decisions that you have to make, and you know, there's good and bad to every decision you make. And sometimes, you know, you wonder and debate whether you made the right decision sometimes.
Yeah, and that was one of the you know, the character's emotional paths that was very difficult to play, because there was a lot going on for Joan in that film. And so for me as an actress, I really had to make sure that my intention and focus for each scene was very specific. And I would do anything for my children.
Right. So getting to the last scene of the movie, the insane asylum, it was very reminiscent of Inception when thinking about,
Yes.
did it really happen or are they scheming? So can you give us a little, if it really happened or did they kind of...
Okay, so you want me to try and explain? So
without giving
things away. So there is some evidence. I don't know if we can plug this in.
Okay.
There is some evidence.
Excuse
Hold on
me.
1 second. We're getting a little bit of low battery here.
So I got it. You keep talking.
So, well, the speaker's that way.
Okay.
Sorry about that. We just had to plug in the phone there. So, can you still hear us?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, the insane asylum, again, throughout the whole movie, we wanted to give little Easter eggs and little tributes. So the insane asylum is a small little tribute to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That's first of all. But the other piece to it is, gee whiz. Let me see if I can put it this way. There is evidence that some people who have gifts can see the dead. And the question is, who there is alive or dead? And does Mike actually now have a gift, that supernatural gift? So there's a question in there that will be answered. Hopefully.
If we do the next one.
The next one. But I think, what ends up happening is in all of this, there is the possibility that you now are seeing more people in the film having the same types of gifts as the two girls.
Mm-hmm.
Are the gifts something that's passed along in DNA or kind of evolution?
So that's really good. It's passed along primarily in this movie through DNA. So everybody's related, who has the gift. But then,
she's smart.
Right, it's very smart.
Yes.
But then the other piece is that Mike was, actually possessed and came very, very close to the devil. And so how much of that rubbed off, I guess, is the question, right? And then in the end, is Mike cured or not cured, right? Is he more insane than ever? Or is he like the only sane person in the whole place? So I think those are questions you have to ask and debate. But I think I've given you enough. Have I given you enough without completely spoiling?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
When you said that he was, possessed and came close to the devil, so him being in an insane asylum, he could pretty much say, all these bad things that happened, the devil made me do it. In real life, if someone used that argument, would you believe them or would you say, no, they need to be locked away?
You are touching upon part of our sequel.
Oh.
Are you for hire? Maybe for a consultant?
Yes.
Absolutely. You're picking up.
Very good.
Oh, very, very good. Very good.
I feel like she got the movie.
Oh yeah,
she
absolutely.
Totally got the movie.
Thank you. I started it late at night after my kids went to sleep, and then my 4-year-old comes up and she lays down in bed and she says, "What are you watching?" And she starts watching. She's like, "Too scary." But then she ended up watching the whole thing with us, but she has not given me her opinion yet. So.
Oh, okay. All right.
She hasn't critiqued it yet.
Yeah,
okay.
She's probably still mulling over.
Right. And like we really wanted to create something that would appeal to a wider audience, and and that as a real supernatural thriller, really that kind of slice within horror, not the shock horror end of things, and really wanted to make sure that we had a strong storyline, strong characters, and action that kept you entertained throughout, and hopefully we were able to do that for you.
Definitely. So since we're all locked down in quarantine, or I don't know, are y'all allowed to like, are places opened up around you, or?
Somewhat. I mean, we're still in New York, so you know, there's still pretty much a pretty tight lockdown.
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah, yeah.
Not so much.
Yeah, I'm in Texas, so we're misbehaving down here.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
that's what we hear.
Not me. I stay inside. I'm kind of like I was already kind of an introvert before this, and now I'm just kind of like this is fine for me.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. It's a little rough up here still. You know, we hope to. We still have the social distancing. Everybody wears a mask. People are pretty good about the whole darn thing around here.
I think like personally and even professionally with the film, this is such a time of challenge, and it really brings out in people how adaptable they are to the unexpected and to change. And I think like we're learning more about that every single day, not just personally, but even in the filmmaking business. So there's just a lot of you know, pivoting that you have to be open to, because the environment is just very unexpected and unpredictable right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, even though principal photography went really well, you know, there's certain aspects of post-production and getting the film to market, which, you know, with COVID, really it just throws a wrench in everything. Right.
Yeah.
So believe it or not, what probably should have been the easiest part is become the most difficult one. And that's, you know, after the film is in the can. Really kind of interesting, the environment that we're in, you know, trying to get into the theatrical, you know, for example, trying to get a theatrical release and, you know, and not being able to, you know, because of the environment, basically, those types of things.
There was even a point when you had to, we had to rush something through the mail, and we couldn't go into the post office.
Yeah.
Like when this first happened, it was like, okay, what do we do now? You know, so we're learning a new normal, just like everybody else.
But look for there's going to be some promotional videos on social media, and we're going to be promoting in our own little unique way how to wear, you know, that you should be wearing a mask in public.
That's cool. Have y'all so since you've had a little more, I guess, downtime, have you been working on anything else besides A Deadly Legend 2?
So, well, first of all, no downtime. Believe it or not, things are just as busy as ever trying to bring this thing to market, you know, especially in the current environment we are. We are working on a couple of new things. So we can't say much. Aside from script development for the sequel. Kristen, you want to talk about some other things?
Yeah, so I'm actually in the discovery phase of a documentary of 2 female historical figures that we would really, really love to tell the story of. And just have to make sure that resources for research are opened back up before we start looking back into that project. But it is an exciting project, and it gives us a little variety in the type of genre that we as filmmakers will be getting involved in.
And we're also going to be looking into a TV pilot of different subject matter, not necessarily a Deadly Legend, but looking to explore making a pilot. So
cool. Not a lot going on.
Yeah.
So I also review books. Have y'all read anything good lately, or have something on your to be read list?
I would love to get recommendations from you. We've been so just immersed in the movie that I would love to give us a list of things you would love to watch.
I was gonna say, I'm like, do you have time for this conversation? I just finished this. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh
wait.
Not part of it.
Okay. The Chain.
Oh, The Chain. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes.
That looks good.
It's good. Basically, someone has kidnapped a child, and the mother basically has to do everything in her power to get her child back.
Oh, wow.
So
okay.
This mother would do anything for her children. But that was my last question for you. Thank you so much for joining and answering.
Thank you.
It's been great. I
Loved meeting you.
Y'all too. Yeah, let me know if you want some more crazy stories that's happened to me.